Oh, we're live.
We are.
And there we go.
Oh, yeah.
So, that was the least smooth fade out in media production history.
That was about as smooth as a bus to the face.
That's the daftest line I've heard all week.
So, thanks a lot for coming and listening to us today on the Total Digression. We've got a few stories that we're going to spin at you today.
If you're going to call it the Total Digression, call it the Total Digression podcast. Otherwise, we'll just call it Total Digression, like the name of a show. So, just a little brief insight. I checked before we started today. Our last recording got 8 views.
8 views?
8 views.
I was 3 of them.
Okay. That's quite depressed. So, about today then.
For this story, we've got a bit of local news. We've discovered a woman that lives within the UK that's recently died in a very tragic way. Would you like to know why?
Go on.
She was obese. She was obese. She was 40 stone. 40 fucking stone, right? She's 44 years old and she's died from a heart attack.
Darwinism. Next story. Carry on.
Well, this lady has been in her house for 6 years without moving, okay? Now, she ain't gone outside for 6 years.
Can I just stop you there?
Sure.
She has not gone that long without moving. She's been moving forks and spoons quite well, thank you very much.
The only thing she's moved is the shovels that go into her mouth, and even on Sunday, she's managed to get a husband to do it for her, who's obviously a larger amount of years above her.
Can you not construct sentences?
I can't when I'm under pressure.
You're not under pressure, man.
I'm on when there's a little blue light on a microphone.
That light says
all the pressure you
USB.
need. It doesn't matter what it means. What it means to me is pressure.
So if I stuck it with the XLR so that the light didn't come on?
It's not necessarily the light. The light was more a metaphor for the pressure behind the light.
Okay, but we sat in your living room.
What's your point?
There is no pressure. You're just talking at a laptop.
Okay, well, this lady, as you know, she's 44 years old, 40 stone, and she hasn't been outside in 6 years. Now she's been offered some gastric surgery to bring her weight right down so she can live.
She's dead.
Yeah, this was before she died.
Carry on.
She was offered this surgery before she died, and she was told she needs to lose weight so that the surgeons know she's serious about the operation, as it costs £12,000 to do this operation. Now, she ain't lost nothing. She ain't lost fuck all, and unfortunately, she died last week. She was in an ambulance on the way to the hospital for a checkup, and then on the way back from the hospital, as she was being offloaded into a woman cave, she ended up having some heart stressors, and then, oh my God, what's going on? For once, things are coming out of the mouth instead of going in.
Can I just stop you and say, to anyone that's managed to get like this far into a broadcast with those audio issues, thank you. Thank you so much. I think it's rectified. Carry on, Lee.
But they called back this ambulance, and then on the way to the hospital, she's died from this heart attack that she's had from being massively obese. Now, I ain't told you any problems with the story yet. Number one, she had a fridge next to her bed. Now, if you're being told by a medical profession that you seriously need to lose weight, you'd move the fridge away from your fucking bed, wouldn't you?
I would.
I would as well. Another thing, this fridge was absolutely stocked up to the high heavens with Coke, Pepsi, Fanta, no water, no milk, nothing at all healthy, just fizzy drinks and chocolate. So she don't have to go downstairs to get this food. She just has to roll to her right and grab something out. She's needed all this help as she's gotten older because she's gotten larger and things have become harder for her to do for herself. But what I wanted to say is, what's the point when you think, okay, I'm fat now, I need to stop killing myself? I mean, do we address it right as a nation?
What this brings to mind is in America currently, 1 in 3 people are obese, and a further 1 in 3 are overweight. So that means people who are in the healthy demographic
are a minority.
Yes, yeah. Now you can get some blowback on that because BMI is like a poor scale to go on for a few different reasons. But at the end of the day, if you're like unhealthy in a way, it's a lot easier to sustain that in our society than it is to
change it.
Yeah. So have you ever been to the gym?
Recently?
That's a yes. At some point or another, you've been to the gym.
Yes.
Right. And did you get perturbed by the fact that there's guys there that are fucking ripped and they're like in the gym from 6:30 till 5:30 every day?
A little bit. I mean, I walk in there and you see some people, and sometimes you think that the wife probably lives there with them.
But you start to
just
feel
comes
like
down and brings them sandwiches when they're crashing.
You start to feel like these people are judging you for not just necessarily your physical form, but like,
do you even lift, bro?
Yeah, the way you lift. They'll stand there and laugh and not help. So neither of us are massive fat bastards. Now imagine being that woman and going down to your local gym and having everyone stare as you got
even
out.
Lift, bro. You're doing it wrong.
Yeah, she lifts. She lifts cans of Coke. She can down them in one.
Well, yeah, it's not about going to the gym though. I mean, the smaller things you can do at home to start off with. For example, if you eat 20 bags of Wotsits a day, tomorrow only eat 19. The day after only eat 18. I know you can't do it that quickly, but there's a fucking example. Maybe if you have a wife that's incredibly overweight, like this young lady herself, you as the other part of the relationship really should be doing something to try and help her instead of running to the shop for her every beck and call, because this woman hasn't been outside for 6 years. So how's she got her food? She's had everything delivered and she hasn't changed anything about her diet. She ain't gone, oh, I'm too fat to go to the baker's now. I guess I won't have pies anymore. She's rang the bakers up and said, can you deliver large amounts to my door as I can't come and get them anymore? So she hasn't done anything about it. And is the healthcare doing the right thing in order to help her lose weight? I mean, there's quite a lot of obesity now in the UK, isn't there?
What can you do?
What can you do? Mandatory exercise.
Sorry, what?
Mandatory exercise.
That's a little bit fascist.
Yes, like, it is. Yeah,
the best thing you can do.
Sometimes you need to push people a bit more when they won't help themselves. Otherwise, they are just going to throw themselves into a box 40 years before the due. And I don't see why other people should have to cater for that when they make no change in their lifestyles to avoid exactly this catastrophe.
Point. What can government, what can healthcare do when these people won't help themselves? If this woman's just going to sit there and she's being told by the doctor that you need to stop eating quite so much, and her idea as well, then I'll cut out the salad aspect, right? Then,
that's essentially what she's done as well. She hasn't changed her diet any or eaten any less.
Then frankly, fuck her. I wouldn't want to, but it's natural selection and progress, isn't it, mate?
It is. I'm a strong believer in that myself, and I sort of feel like I'm being cheated a bit every now and then, only with special cases like this, though.
I don't understand.
Just like it's very hard to explain. I think my point is just how does it get this bad? Why is everybody so sensitive to not make any change about it?
See, just to take the name of the show to a literal aspect, I think you can digress from that point a little further, right? So me and you both smoke weed.
Yeah.
That's quite highly chastised in our society.
Yeah, because it's illegal.
It's viewed as a bad thing because the state said so.
Yeah.
And
but some of us are a bit more open-minded to think, well, maybe not everything we're told is the truth.
But no, you kind of missing where I'm going with this,
okay.
Right? I would argue that me getting home from a hard day's work and having half a joint does a lot less to myself, to the people that love me, and society as a whole than people who
go home and eat 24 packets of Monster Munch.
Spot on, mate. Because do you know what? I don't need special seats on an airplane. I don't need a bariatric ambulance. I don't need to, if you're really, really fat.
That's another point. If you are incredibly, incredibly overweight and you go on a plane, you're entitled to the same amount of luggage as somebody who weighs a tenth of your weight.
I should get that.
How does that work out?
I should get that access.
You should get an extra bag to put in your thing. And then that would be a very, very fucking small inclination to lose weight.
One of my
because thin people are getting more bags on the plane.
One of my girlfriend's university lecturers, his research was people with a BMI over 50. And a lot of these people, when they get x-rayed, do you know where they go?
They have to go to the zoo, don't they?
They have to go to the zoo.
And sometimes they're very cautious as to whether they send them for x-rays because it's that embarrassing.
Now, can anyone out there on the internet tell me why me wanting to get a little bit high after a hard day's work,
rewarding yourself,
is worse than people eating so much that they need special precautions? People that need to have special ambulances and go to zoos to be checked out?
Well, it is. There's a lot of questions. I mean, there's other things such as alcohol. People who inflict alcoholism upon themselves from drinking too much actually get spends from the government so that they can carry on drinking that doesn't affect the money that they already get for things such as food and shelter.
There was a study, I think it came out in about 2008, where some scientists had analysed 20 restricted substances and ranked them in order of health detriment. And ecstasy is less harmful than either nicotine/tobacco or alcohol.
True. Read the same.
That's just shows you, man.
Makes you wonder though, why is alcohol so much favoured? Why is it money? True, but you could make so much money on the other things as well that are made illegal. But I imagine it'd be harder to regulate.
What, as in?
For example, marijuana, you could grow it yourself. You could make your own currency from it.
No. You have to understand, if marijuana is ever legalized, it totally becomes another level of illegal to grow it, because then you're taking tax revenue.
I see.
So in Denver,
more ways to fuck with the queen.
Well, yeah, in Denver at the minute, they've legalized it, haven't they?
Yeah.
And they're still, it's still illegal throughout the country, but it's legal in that state. So the federal government still comes in and raids dispensaries.
It's just sometimes they give it back.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
No.
So, have we got more stories to crack on with?
We have.
Well, what have we got?
As a finishing point for that one, I'd just like to say, should we be doing more to encourage fat people to lose weight? I think so.
What, putting bakeries at the top of hills?
Maybe just a few less. Just have no bakeries on flat land at all.